Aloha, I'm Helen with Floating Yoga School, here on Maui, leading you through a little mini stretch class designed to help you feel lengthened, reset after a long day, or anytime you need a pause. We'll be mainly close to the ground, but we will start with a few standing stretches. So when you're ready, join me standing at the top of your mat. So give yourself a moment to arrive, to root down through your feet, maybe rock a little side to side, forward and back. Notice how your body feels. Notice the length through your spine as you reach up through the crown of your head. And start to lengthen and deepen your breath. And as we're practicing a little bit more yin style today, we're not necessarily going to use an ujjayi breath, that strong audible breath. You certainly can, but we are going to make sure that we're paying attention to our breath. That when you find your mind wandering, you come back to the sound, the sensation, the rhythm of your inhales and your exhales. And sometimes these slow practices are harder than the ones where we move. So give yourself grace and space to simply be. As you next inhale, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, cactus your elbows, bend them, open up through your chest. Breathe in, reach high. Breathe out, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers or simply reach back. Open your chest, look up. Hold as you exhale. One more breath in. And then exhale, release your grip and gently fold over your legs. Try not to overthink this. Feet can be a little bit wider. Knees can be bent a lot. We're gonna do what's called a dangling pose, kind of like a rag doll. You can keep your arms toward the ground, or if you like, you can hold opposite elbows. Let your head and neck be heavy, and you'll see my knees are bent a ton so that my belly is on my thighs. Kind of that rest and that support. Just breathe here. One more round of breath. Release your hands down. Keep your knees pretty bent. Walk your fingertips as far as you can to your right. Let your hips lean a little bit to your left. And then take that to the other side. Hands to your left, hips to your right. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Bring it back to center, lift halfway, breathe in, long spine, and exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider, heels in, toes out. We're gonna find our way to a squat malasana. You might prefer to be upright, you might prefer to come all the way down to your bum and take a cobbler's pose instead, that butterfly variation. If you're with me, use your elbows to press into your legs, press your legs back into your elbows. And feel length through your spine. Breathe here and notice what comes up. If the urge to fidget or wiggle is there, acknowledge it. Make whatever adjustments you need to, it doesn't matter. And then come back to that stillness. Let's find one more round of breath. And slowly release to a seat if you're not already there. Feet on the ground, knees to the sky. Windshield wiper your legs right and left. Release through your hip flexors. So in a more traditional yin practice, we hold shape somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes longer. I find that's really long for most of us, me included. So we'll kind of think of this as like a yin inspired. Extend your legs in front of you. They can be wide, they can be closer together. Your knees can certainly be bent. Lift your heart, breathe in, and then fold over your legs. And allow your arms to rest wherever they are, wherever they land. They might be here, they might be on your legs. You might be able to come down to your forearms. Relax your head and your neck. Imagine you could breathe into the spaces that are holding tension or that are talking to you. For me right now, it's even my toes, all the way up the back of my legs, hamstrings. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. Gently lift yourself back up. And any counter movements that feel good for you, I like to do kind of the opposite. I'm going to come onto my fingertips, lift my heart, look up. You might find something else that feels good. Let's take our legs and stack them for fire log or double pigeon. So one leg underneath the other, ankle over knee, knee over ankle. I've got a really big space here. You can always take a figure 4 leg if that's true for you too and this doesn't feel right. You can always take a reclined pigeon. There's something a little different about finding this seat, having the leverage to lean forward. So tall spine, breathe in, and then just begin to lean into your legs. This is the extent that I can take it today. You find your edge and you breathe there. You might find the longer we stay, the deeper you can go. You might find you need to back off, and that's cool too. Let's take one more round of breath. And gently release it back out. Again, a windshield wiper, shake out your legs, whatever feels right. And then the other side, in your time, other shin comes to your mat, stack, or again, choose your figure 4 or a variation that works better for you. This side feels a little bit more open. Maybe it's because we already did the first side. Find breath, breathe in, and then begin to hinge into it. Notice if there's places where you're holding tension, shoulders, jaw, face. And can you soften? Two more rounds of breath. And then gently release it back up. And you might find you want a little bit more time someplace. Your sides don't feel even. They need a little bit more time. It's totally cool. I'm going to turn to face you all, and we'll take kind of like a little deer variation. So I think about this as almost like pigeon legs. So getting some similar muscles also into our sides that we did before. Connective tissue and stuff. I'm going to think about making almost like a little zigzag with my legs. So one shin is toward one long edge of my mat, and then the other leg is going to go almost parallel with the thigh to that shin, foot behind. Don't overthink what it looks like. Kind of find this zigzag shape for you. You're going to turn over your front leg, so it's a bit of a twist, and then see how far you can lean into it. I'm feeling space in my low back, kind of right at my hip joint and in my side. And this side is actually really tight for me, so this feels good. You can get so caught up in the specifics, like how it's supposed to look or how it's supposed to feel, and forget that these shapes are pretty much made up. It's not truly what the yoga is about. It's great to find the stretch. It's great to be aware of our anatomy and our alignments. It's also great to listen to what feels good for you. So to adjust and modify and figure out that works in my body, that does not. This feels better for whatever reason. And that's where I'm gonna go. Let's do one more breath here. I could probably hold this one for another 10 minutes, but I'm not gonna keep you here. You can come out and then move right away to the other side or set yourself up. I'm gonna readjust my legs. So finding kind of that parallel to one edge, thigh almost parallel to that shin. I'm a little wonky here on my towel, and then move in the opposite direction. And as you've probably heard me say before, our sides are not parallel, so it's normal to have a different experience one side versus the other. Maybe that tells you something about your lifestyle, your habits or practices, your personal tendencies. Maybe that's something about your anatomy. I always feel like I want to cheat the second side, so trying to give it just as much time without getting too caught up in the details like timing things. And as those sides feel even, bring yourself back up. We're gonna come onto our backs. You can do whatever you need to before getting there. Any other movements or stretches. And then roll yourself down. Take a moment to pause in stillness when you arrive. Feel the earth below you, that sense of support and grounding. And take a spinal twist from here, kind of continuing that twisting sensation. You can either stack your knees, that's what I'm gonna do. You can cross one leg, you can have one leg straight, one leg bent. Lots and lots of options. Get yourself set up and allow for that stillness. Breathe length through your spine. Breathe space through your entire body. Especially expand your ribs, your chest with each breath in and out. And then as you're ready, gently move out and into the other side. You might need to reset your hips or hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself permission to be still. I was teaching a class the other day and a woman was telling me, oh, I came to yoga because I stopped in the middle of my run and I felt like I cheated. So yoga was like another workout to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. And it can be a great workout. And also, if you needed a break, take a break. Don't beat yourself up. These slower, stiller practices are so vital to balance out the busyness in your life. When things feel even, back to center, we'll take one more shape, right and left, and then a little mini Shavasana. You, of course, can stay longer. Start by stretching out your arms and legs. I've got the short towel today. Walk them up and over, or walk them over, I should say, to your right. Both legs and arms for a little banana shape, finding a curve. And I like to take my right hand and find my left wrist. You might also like to take your left ankle and cross it on top, or your right. For me, that's a little intense. I've got a lot of tightness in my left hip, so just feet on the ground feels best. And then take that to the other side. Pass through center. You might pause to notice the differences between right and left. And then walk your feet over to your left, hands to your left. Again, take any other option, crossing your ankle, grabbing your wrist. As things feel even, move it back to center. Take any last movements or stretches that you like before our final rest. I encourage you to stay on your back or move to your side or belly. I'm going to come to a seat and find a final meditation. Find length, and then find a sense of rootedness, groundedness once more. Eyes soft or closed. Allow yourself to really be here in your experience, whatever arises for you, physically, mentally, energetically. And then as you feel ready, begin to reawaken your physical body. Please feel free to hang out even longer. Maybe little wiggles or stretches. Maybe eyes open and you look around. I've got some chickens over here coming to visit me. Stay on your back or find your way to a seat if you're not already there. And place your palms together in front of your hearts. As always, thank yourself for making the time to move, to breathe, to be present. I thank you for joining me, for sharing your energy, and for sharing this yoga love. We'll bow our heads together in silence. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.